What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of A Reign of Kings. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today. And you might see that we are on the newbie island, and once again, we are naked in our rope-made man-thong. If you're ever trying to make a man-thong, you should definitely make it out of rope. It's very, very comfortable. It doesn't chafe quite as much as you would figure that it would. But we're here hanging out. We had to start the game over. The game released, obviously, over the course of the last week or so. I was preloaded pretty far because I didn't want to deal with the post-release rush. And so this is the first episode that I think it's like the 18th of March right now at the time that I'm recording this. And so this is fairly current. The private server is not up and running just yet. I am working with a guy. It will be done by the end of the week as far as I know. The week containing St. Patty's Day, that is. So if it ends up being done, it ends up being done. I am in correspondence with the guy I really want to play, but for right now, since we don't have the private server set up, we're just going to restart like everybody else. And so we are on what looks like, I always call the statue north. I've never made a compass in this game, so I don't know where the actual cardinal directions are. I don't know if there's any cardinals on this island at all. Frankly, my aviary, I don't know anything about birds right now. My avian knowledge of this island, very, very limited. For right now, I am playing on somebody else's private server. I think there's 5 or 10 people here, and they all seem kind of nice. They seem like they're probably not going to tie us up and like hang us or anything like that. The official servers, I tried to record episodes on the official servers, but unfortunately the lag was just too real. Like every single server was just like bogged down, and so I think they may need to work on their server architecture a little bit, just trying to make sure that if you're trying to play on the community servers, or at least the ones that are hosted by Reign of Kings themselves, that you can actually do anything. But I kept lagging out. I couldn't stay logged into them. I'd stay logged in for about 5 minutes, and then eventually I'd get hit with a big lag spike that would kick me. And I know it's not my internet, because I got dim YouTuber internets. I downloaded Far Cry 4 in like 15 minutes. You know, like I can download pretty quickly. Maybe it's my uptime. Who knows? Either way, we're probably going to play here for the next 4 or 5 episodes. It seems like a really, really nice place. The guys made a post up on the forums, and they were really, really friendly about it, so I figured I'd swing on through. And this would give us some time to just sort of like accomplish stuff on the server without being messed with. Oh, a lovely little butterfly. A lovely little butterfly. You know how they got that name, right? They like to rub their butts on stuff. They're butterflies. They like to just butt you a little bit. They'd be like, I am performing the verbal action of butting. Is verbal a word? It is. It's totally a word. Verbal's a word. You can verbally berate somebody. Hell yeah, I used the right word. I'm excited for myself right now. I'll probably try and make cuts whenever nighttime comes around. But in the early game, I'll probably treat this... there's no point treating this like a tutorial. If you're still here, this is like episode number 14. You know what we're doing. So we're just grabbing flax for right now. Once we grab flax, I don't know where I want to build my next base, but I am pretty sure that I'm going to drop it somewhere really, really awesome. We're probably going to beat up one of those pigs over there, too, or one of those sheep. Is that a... That's a sheep. Never mind. I know my colors. Pigs are pink, sheep are white. Let's go beat up a sheep over here. Beat up a sheep up? I don't know. I was trying to make it rhyme, but unfortunately, I don't think there really is any way to make it rhyme. We'll grab the flax along the way, because every single time that I play this game, I need like insane amounts of flax, and I never have enough. You always come across like that one thing that you've got to craft that takes 150 flax or whatever, and then you're running around the field for an hour and a half like an idiot trying to scoop this stuff up in your backpack. And so I prefer to preload when it comes to my flax. I treat it like MMOs that aren't out yet, and I preload like crazy. Let's go beat up this sheep. I don't think he can outrun us. It shouldn't take too many club swipes either. I prefer to call them club swipes. It sounds a little bit less aggressive than club brain bashing. So, you know, I've swapped the terminology around a little bit. If you're trying to get a consistent source of food and also like leather hides and stuff, I would strongly recommend just finding the sheep. They're the easiest thing on the map to kill. If you don't have any other options, then hell, you can go after the deer and some of those other animals, but my favorite ones to beat up are the sheep, because you get wool out of them too. So there it is. I do wish that there was a little bit more fashion clothing in this game, like clothing that didn't necessarily have any function, but like gambesons. I mean, a gambeson did have a function, but you know what I mean. Tunics, gambesons, things that you can wear that are not armor, so that you're not constantly either running around in plate mail or nude, one or the other. I'm trying to get enough leather right now to where we can jump straight into leather armor really, really early on in our playthrough. Let's bludgeon this thing real fast. I haven't seen anybody around. Haven't seen anybody around. Even though on the servers, I think there's plenty of space on the maps. The servers that I've been on that had full people, like 35 people on the server, 35 out of 35, you still weren't bumping elbows with people non-stop. You were just sort of like around. You'd see somebody occasionally like chopping down a tree or accomplishing some random little task. Let's run on in here. I'm going to try and get all these sheep for right now. This is going to be like our sheeping slaughter day. I like sheep though. They're like little hoofed dogs. I don't know why I like sheep so much. They're all over the place where I went to college. I went to college at a place that was like known regionally for its sheep farming. There was just hundreds of them all over the place. Just little herds of sheep running around, although it was really, really adorable. Like every now and again, spring would come around. Once a year, I think, is the real punctuation that spring comes around. Anyways, every now and again, spring would pop on in and there'd be lambs out in the field and they'd be jumping around and hopping and being all happy. They weren't all jaded and just like cynical like all the older sheep yet. All the older sheep were like, oh look, we're out in the field again doing sheep stuff. Hooray, this is our life. This is what we signed up for as sheep, isn't it? And then the baby sheep seem to be really, really stoked about it. So I've decided I'm not going to be a cynical sheep today. I really was hoping we would get more leather out of these. Did they nerf the leather drop rates? I wonder. Well, we're getting bones, and so, you know, we got bones from a sheep, I guess. That's pretty cool. How much? Yeah, we've only had 2 leathers so far. We're going to need at least like 5 or 6. Still, this could all be reserved for farming once nighttime comes around, but unfortunately I'm out of episodes, so this one might, the next episode or two, my backlog is completely and totally out. I like to keep a backlog around. It's just, it helps me strengthen my core. I just take a log with a strap and I wear it on my back. That's all that it is. It's exactly what it sounds. Let me hit you in your ass repeatedly, and then let me farm the flax from your sheepy sphincter. There it is. And so we have farmed, well, I'm getting too much wool right now. I don't really need this wool. What I would very much prefer is the acquisition. There's the leather hides. We need those. That's what we need. If we get 6 or 7 leather hides along the way, that means that we can jump straight into leather armor. And the server, as I understand it, was established like a day ago. And so the tech race has not gotten completely and totally out of hand just yet. Let's chop down some trees. And once we get maybe, oh, we need 120 wood to make a workbench, don't we? Ugh, that's going to take a while. That's a considerable amount of wood chopping, and it's not the amount of wood chopping that I think I'd like to feature for right now. So let's maybe see if we can find some berries. I know where we can get some. There's always berry bushes up and around this way, and we just need food for right now. We could make a campfire, I guess, but we need hydration, and so that's unfortunately not going to save us. Maybe there's none on that bush. That is the bush model right there for the berries, unfortunately. Nothing on it right now. Nothing on it. Oh, there's a little house over here. Maybe he's cooking up some dinner or something. Let's have a look. My plan is not to rob somebody this early, but if it has to happen, it has to happen. Okay, so that doesn't really help our liquid storage out very much. It does, however, give us some loot, so we'll close that off real fast. What does this guy have? He might be able to accelerate our gameplay a little bit. I'm not trying to like rob and steal from anybody right now, but hey, we're just now starting out. I don't want that. Ooh, he's got better weaponry. I will take you. And then over on this side, we've got a stone pickaxe. That'll save us a little bit of time too. We've got a bow and a whole bunch of arrows. Yes, please. I'll take his leather hides as well. So we've been here for like 8 minutes and already I'm robbing people. I can't help it. It's just so much easier than doing stuff on your own. And he shouldn't have left it unattended. It's his own fault. There's a bunch of chests over here. I'm going to laugh if these are like the communal like newbie chests. And that's exactly what this is for like new players. A bent horn? Hell yeah, I want that. I'll also take that armor. Sure. Got that right there. A little bit of extra wood to make my life easier too. An orifice stone because he may come after us. That is the reality of the situation right now, is that this is probably going to frustrate somebody considerably. I guess I'll take his iron too. I don't know. If he's a server admin, we might regret this because he's going to look up our name and see who robbed him. And then we're going to have troubles. Many troubles. Throw those in there. We got ourselves like a full thing of wood armor right now so that we're at least a little bit better off. And then we'll rob all that iron. And then let's get the hell out of here before we get caught. I think that's going to... Did I get any stone off of him, though? Did I? I think the first chest had his stone, maybe. Hold on. So there's some wool right there. Oh, this guy doesn't have any stone. For the bullwhip, like, how is that? Only does 1 damage, but it's probably ranged. Okay, well, time to get the hell on out of here. We have supplies now so that we can start the game out, so that saved me a considerable amount of time. And so I'm really, really excited about the fact that we were able to take all that. Hopefully he didn't see us. People still talking and chatting. Anytime somebody says hi in one of these games, I assume it's a ruse. I assume that they're trying to destroy me. Not to be confused with a rosé, which is delicious, and also very much accompanies desserts. If you never had rosé before, I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful, wonderful invention. We got 25 berries right now. Let's take a second and get ourselves fed. because we are looking like we're probably going to run out of hydration here. I like to think that that guy would want us to have his stuff. He would just like allow us to take it because he's a nice fellow like that. I could be wrong. Either way, I prefer this game to constantly exist in a state of chaos, and so I rob and I steal like crazy, and then it makes people come after me. And then the game is more fun because then I get to PvP constantly. Who doesn't love PvPing? PvPing all over everything, all around them. So now we need stone. We got pickaxes. We got all the little things we need in order to survive in the front end of the game. We've got our axe. We've got our berries. Let's throw those up into there. We got ourselves a weapon too, which is actually pretty important. We'll throw on some armor. It's not going to be that helpful, but it's better than wearing nothing. I don't play the game in third person, so if that drives people crazy, I don't find third person to be the best way to play games like this. I like to play them in first person. I don't think you need to lock other people to it, though. I'm not one of those people that goes on DayZ servers and like, everybody must play in first person. I just prefer, at least in this game, to be in first person. I don't know. DayZ, I think I play in third person because I'm knobbish like that, but whatever. Does that make you a noob if you play in third person? Does it? I wouldn't know. I have no idea how all these things function. Why would you put all of your loot at the top of the first area that everybody is good? I just don't know. I just don't know. Everybody goes there the second that they log on. We do have a whole bunch of arrows. We could farm out some of these over here. Yeah, I think that might be the best plan. Wait, where did the arrows go? Did I... It appears as though the arrows are gone. Did I fail to loot them? I may have failed to loot them. Luckily, they're very, very easy to make, so... Can I make them without a workbench? I cannot. Well, we'll have to wait on that then. That particular brand of legislature will have to sit on the cabinet for a while. I guess we will... Yeah, let's just go get the stone like we were going to previously. I don't know if this is like an all-day server or something. I have no idea. I've been on the server for a little while and it hasn't been night. Maybe I'm just like, I logged in at the perfectly lucky time to where I wasn't a fae. I wanted that. Come with me. Come with me if you want to be a part of my crafts. I don't know if that's the same thing as living. So I didn't want to deceive that thing and be like, come with me if you want to live. I didn't want to do that, but at the same time, I wanted to be honest, and so I prefer to be honest while being real simultaneously. Like, I don't want to berate the guy. I just want to go, where's the stone at? It's got to be over here somewhere. It's along this left-hand side. Along that road, in fact, is exactly where it is. If you're looking for it, you should always go all the way up to where the statue is. There's stone over there. There's stone alongside this road. You can see it from right here, actually. There's stone down in that little prairie area. If you follow that, the prairie, I guess is what I would call it. If you go all the way down that way in the prairie, you will find yourself several more stone nodes and also oil nodes, and so there's things around if you're trying to find them. And then iron, as always, almost all the iron is right in front of the statue right there, and you're just gonna have to go up and fight for it. That's why I find it to be easier just to rob people of their iron so that I have to go out there and get into fights and all that kind of crazy stuff. No idea where we're gonna build our first base, but for right now, let's get started getting our bag as stoned as possible, as heavily stoned as possible. We don't keep a lot of fatty foods around either, so hopefully it doesn't freak out. God, that's the worst. That is just the worst, where you just get way too domed and you're just like, ugh, I feel so ridiculously just uncomfortable right now. I don't think I've ever felt this uncomfortable before in my entire life. And people are like, yeah, man, you just gotta ride it out. You'll be fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Nobody has ever died in the history of ever from weed. You'll be fine. Just eat this. What you gotta have around the house, though, see, for when people get too domey up at your functions, you gotta have fatty foods like ice cream and stuff. And then you just give that to them. You're like, here, eat this. Because it flush. I don't know if this is just an urban legend, but I heard it flushes the THC out of your system or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. My pothead days are behind me. I'm just saying, like, I went through a lot of weed in college. I was such a stereotype. Such a stereotype. Got to college and I was like, alright, so do they give out complimentary bongs when you get here? Like, how does this work? Because I can virtually assure you that I'm gonna be high for the rest of this experience. And I was. And I had great grades, too. Makes me hyper-focus. I was always, I'm not like a functional pothead, but I don't know. For some reason, schoolwork just went better. I don't know. I had good grades. I didn't make like the honor roll or anything, but I had like a 3.4 in college, I think. I don't know. I put in as much effort as I had to feel good. And then after that, I was like, extra effort though. I probably won't put that in. It's all good. Not a big school guy anyways. I just wanted to get it all done with. We've almost got, we've got some stone right now. The big reason I was grabbing all this stone though was to make ourselves some tools, and now that we have tools, it kind of seems like we should probably go out and like settle somewhere. I keep waiting for the sun to go down, but then it doesn't. When the sun goes down, what I'll do is I'll break off the episode and I'll farm out a whole bunch of materials, and hopefully we'll be able to get started with a base in another location. It'll probably just be something very, very small, something conservative. I don't think that I need to build like a huge base for the server, considering we're only going to record like 4 or 5 episodes while we're here. I don't think that there's any reason to totally get ourselves dug in and make like giant foundations and all kinds of siege weapons and stuff, because honestly, we're going to have the private server in 4 or 5 days, so since I put up 1 episode a day, that's that. After I grab this stone here, we'll make a little house, would be probably what we'll go for. I don't know how easy it is to destroy clay houses, but I've never built one before, and I am a little bit curious. I love the fact that this server actually runs. All the other servers I've been on today, seriously, I've logged into like 10 servers trying to get this episode going so that I could just get back up and get recording, make like 4 or 5 episodes of Reign of Kings, and there's nothing. Like, all the servers, even the ones that are hosted by the company that runs the game, are like laggy and you get kicked all the time, and it's just like, ugh. I think the game is a little bit more popular than they expected, although I called this one. I was excited about this game from the moment that I saw it. I knew it was going to be pretty sweet, so there we go. Alright, a little bit more stone out right there. I think I just heard, is somebody trying to like talk to me right now? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Let's continue. Let's continue digging stone off of this location. This is where I do all of my stone farming, by the way, is just from this little cluster right here. I always try to find that road along the right-hand side of the valley in front of the statue, and then I just farm stone for a long... It makes it easier if you have better tools. Simultaneously, though, there's not that many nodes, so unfortunately, you're going to go through them pretty quickly either way. Even with a stone pickaxe, you farm them faster than they respawn. And I think typically you get about, oh, I don't know, for me, 1,000 stone out of each run. Maybe a little bit more. And so if you're trying to build like a giant base that's super badass, you're going to be spending a lot of time in this valley just swacking on stones for a while. Is this server... is 24-hour day? I need to bookmark it because that's the greatest thing ever. And I want to play on it forever. I didn't even know that was an option in this game, but 24-hour a day sounds fantastic. I don't know, nighttime in survival games never does anything for me. I suppose for some people it might, but having like big 10-minute gaps in the places where I'm able to like handle my business doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. If I can set that up on the private server, it will more than likely be a 24-hour day server just so I can get things done while filming the series without having to take giant hiatuses while we're in the middle of like interesting things happening. So if a siege happens, for example, I wouldn't be able to film it because it's nighttime, and that would just be like the siege would happen, and then I would miss out on a whole bunch of super awesome footage. But if the siege happens during the daytime, then I get to whip out the old 8mm camera or whatever the hell it is. I don't know how many millimeters a camera has. Let's just assume that for right now it's probably in the single digits. Why you come with me inside of my inventory right here? No. There we go. We got that. How much flax am I rocking right now? I'm rocking like 200 flax. Oh, we're good. Let's go get ourselves situated, shall we? I think I got to do a little bit more wood chopping, and we've got to make ourselves a crest, which I think requires some bone and some other stuff. But I think we've already got that covered. Let me chop down maybe 1 or 2 trees just so that we have the investment wood ready to go. That's how people invest in this world. You invest in wood. It's one of those stocks. It never goes down. It might not be quite as valuable like way, way, way down the line, but everybody loves wood in this world. Who doesn't love wood? Everybody loves a good little bout of wood every now and again. Let's grab this right. Come on, chop down already. Damn it, you're taking forever. Chop forth, for I command you. That's never worked before. I try to command things all the time, but it never seems. I tried it on the cat. Didn't work right there. Tried it on the girlfriend. Definitely didn't work right there. In fact, I think that may have had some negative consequences that I wasn't quite ready for. However, at the same time, maybe trees are weaker of will than any of the other things that I've tried to command previously. You never know what the integer is of like weakness and being commanded. The ability to take orders until you try. And so you just got to throw it out there every now and again and be like, I command you! And then if nothing good happens, then you just move on to the next object and try again with it. I think this little gully would be awesome. In real life, don't ever build anything in a gully like this, though. That's what this is called. It's called a gully. I mean, technically, it would... Well, that's a pretty good... I don't know. It's a creek bed. I don't know if you call it full-on a gully. I don't know if it's steep enough. It sort of works. I don't know. It seems like it might work as a gully. Either way, a gully is where 2 hills meet and there will be like a little crevice in between them. It's the crotch of the hillside. I've talked about this in previous videos. I have a video called The Hills Have Crotches. I forget like what it was for. It was from one of my series. I have no clue, but no matter. Actually, this seems... I want to set up in a place where there's actually like stuff around. Last time our base was so far away that I think this is a 24-hour day server. I don't think the sun has moved at all. But still, that's great for me. So let's build over here maybe. I want to be in a place where I can get to stone and other useful stuff rapidly, because that's what I always have trouble with. So let's grab, I don't know if I need hay right now. I don't think we need any hay. So I'll probably leave hay alone for a little bit. Just leave well enough alone with the hay. I want an area that's like semi-flat too, because the last place that I tried to build was just a mess. So we have this spot. Let's dump some of, well, we can dump the torches. I don't need those. We've got our orifice stone ready to go just in case somebody tries to capture us. Used to claim and conquer an area. This allows only the owner to place and pick up building materials, including doors in the area. You may only have one crest placed at any time. Okay, so that works out. I've never actually used this before, so we'll build one of those because obviously I think we're probably going to need those as we go into the future. I can get more wool, so I'm going to drop that for a second. The crest is done. The next thing that we need is a crafting station, so let's get that going. It's going to take about a minute and a half for that to ride out, so while we wait for that to get done, I think there would be conventional wisdom in saying that we should probably chop down some trees and try and get ourselves a better wood supply for the future. While that takes place, I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Reign of Kings. As with all things, this part of the series is temporary. We're just sort of building and hanging out on this server, seeing if we can get into a little bit of trouble. Probably do some of the things that we already did in the previous series. It's a tiny bit of filler. It's a tiny bit of filler from me to you until the private server gets up and running and we start working on things that have a sense of permanence and things that will have a sense of personality, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to try and max out. I don't know how many people I'm going to invite to the private server or how I'm going to choose. This has not been something that was really run by me. I don't know. I've got a couple of YouTubers that want to play on the server that I know will jump at the chance to be on there. That'll give us probably 10 people. I think I have like 5 to 10 YouTubers that want to be part of it. And then once I get that going, I think that from there I'll start inviting like general members of the NCE, although once again I have no mechanism in place to get that done. I'll see you on the next episode. I'll try and farm out a little bit of wood right now. Hi to everybody. I'll see you next time.